All right, let's do something a little different today. We're going to put on our detective hats. Our financial detective hats, that is. Our mission is to decode the story of a stock using just the clues it leaves behind in the data. So let's dive right in. And here it is, our central mystery. A single number, $0.862. Now, this was the closing price for Beyond Meat not too long ago. But it's so much more than just a number. It's the final verdict from a day of trading, the result of every single buy and sell decision. And for our investigation, this is Exhibit A. It's our single most important piece of evidence. So, what story is this number trying to tell us? Is it a tragedy, a story of pure exhaustion? Or maybe it's the start of a comeback story. We're going to use the tools of technical analysis to dig in, to investigate all the clues hidden right there in the data, and see if we can piece together the real narrative behind this price. Okay, so every good investigation needs a starting point, right? For us, that's the scene of the crime, the price chart itself. Think of technical analysis as our forensics kit. It's how we're going to dust for fingerprints and decipher all the little clues the market leaves behind. It's all about understanding the psychology, the behavior of buyers and sellers. Now, the first rule of any chart investigation is simple. Figure out which way the wind is blowing. Are we heading up, are we heading down, or are we just going sideways? This is what we call the overall trend, and honestly, it's the single most important clue we can find. Everything else we discover, it's all got to be understood within the context of this primary trend. So how do we find that trend? Well, we use a fantastic tool called a moving average. I love this analogy. Think of the daily price of a stock like the choppy waves on the surface of the ocean. They're up, they're down, they're all over the place. A moving average, it's like it smooths out all those little waves so we can see the really powerful underlying tide. And that's what we care about. Is the tide coming in or is it going out? Okay, so let's look at the evidence. And wow, this is what I'd call overwhelming. Our price, that 86 cents, isn't just below one moving average. It's below all of them. The short term, the medium term, and the long term averages. This isn't a maybe situation. This is a big, flashing, clear-cut signal. So what does that mean for our case? It means our first major clue is definitive. The verdict is in on this one. The tide is going out, and it looks like it has been for quite a while. We're looking at a powerful, confirmed downtrend. This really sets the stage for everything else we're about to uncover. Make no mistake, the sellers are in the driver's seat. All right, so we've established the direction. It's down. But that's just the first question. The next and maybe more important question is, how much gas is in the tank? How much force is behind this downward move? Are we talking about a gentle slope here, or is this more like a nosedive off a cliff? We need to find some corroborating evidence to measure the strength, the momentum of this downtrend. And to do that, we bring in our next specialized tool. It's called the MACD, which is a mouthful. It stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. But don't worry about the name. Just think of it like a speedometer for the trend. It tells us how much momentum, how much oomph is really behind the price move. And whoa, the testimony from the MACD is, well, it's pretty damning. Just look at these numbers. They're not just negative, they are deeply negative. And the main MACD line is way below its signal line. So what this tells us is that the bearish momentum, it's not just there. It's strong and it's sustained. The sellers aren't just in control, it looks like they have the pedal to the metal. So the case for a powerful downtrend is getting stronger by the minute. But, in any good investigation, you don't just rely on one witness. You want to get the story from multiple sources, right? So let's bring in a couple more specialists to see if their stories match up. And look at this, it's perfect. First up, the ADX. It just measures trend strength, doesn't care about direction. And it's clocking in over 30, which is well above the strong trend line of 25. Then we have the Aroon Oscillator. Its whole job is to spot strong moves, and it's reading -78. I mean, that is about as definitive a bearish signal as you're ever going to get. So there you have it. All our expert witnesses are telling the exact same story. This downtrend is the real deal. It's powerful. Okay, so at this point, our case seems pretty open and shut, right? We've got a powerful, confirmed downtrend. Case closed. But wait, just when you think you've got it all figured out, a new piece of evidence turns up, and this one adds a fascinating, unexpected twist to the whole story. For this, we need a different set of tools. Oscillators. So the moving averages showed us the tide. Think of oscillators as being like a rubber band. They're designed to tell us if the price has been stretched way too far, way too fast in one direction. Has that rubber band been pulled so tight that it might be about to snap back? This is what we call an oversold condition. And here it is. This number is our plot twist. It's from an oscillator called the Williams %R, and it's reading negative 93.01. Now, just for context, the rule of thumb is that anything below negative 80 is considered oversold. So negative 93, that isn't just oversold, that's a sign that the selling has been absolutely extreme, relentless. That rubber band we talked about, it is stretched very, very tight. And here's where it gets really interesting. We look at another famous oscillator, the RSI, and okay, it's bearish, but it's not quite at that classic oversold level yet. But then you look at the stochastic oscillator, 4.03. That is just incredibly low. The alert level for this one is below 20, so a reading of 4, that's not a whisper. That's a screaming red alert signal that this market is profoundly, deeply oversold. And so here it is, the central conflict of our entire investigation. On one hand, every single piece of trend and momentum evidence is shouting powerful, ongoing downtrend. But on the other hand, our oscillator evidence is screaming that this very same downtrend has pushed the stock into a deeply, deeply overextended and oversold state. Okay, it's time for the final verdict. We need to step back, lay all the clues out on the table, and put the pieces together. You know, a good detective can't get fixated on just one clue. You have to look at everything, synthesize it all, to get the complete picture. So let's do that. Let's quickly run down the case file. Fact 1, the trend, unambiguously bearish. No question about it. Fact 2, the momentum, strong and sustained. All our witnesses confirmed it. And fact 3, the crucial but in our story, the condition, deeply, deeply oversold. Those are the 3 key facts of our case. So what's the final verdict? Well, that price, that 86 cents, is telling a really complex story. It's not just good or bad. It's the story of a stock caught in a powerful confirmed downtrend that has also been pushed to an absolute extreme. And that creates a really tense situation. See, an oversold reading doesn't mean the trend has to stop on a dime, but it's a huge warning sign. It's a flare going up that says the sellers might finally be running out of steam. So the analysis doesn't give us a simple buy or sell. It's more nuanced. It tells us exactly what battle to watch for. Which leads us to the ultimate cliffhanger. What happens when an unstoppable force, this powerful downward trend, meets a market stretched to its absolute breaking point? That's the question this whole investigation leaves us with. You see, the charts never predict the future. What they do is show us the key battle lines being drawn. So will the sellers finally run out of ammo, leading to a sharp snapback rally? Or does this downtrend have enough power left to just keep on pushing lower? That is the story we'll all be watching unfold.